Hi, welcome to part 2 of my little story, my big story. The next installment of this is basically my college years. And as I was thinking about what to tell you, I'm realizing kind of in real time how important this sort of emotional journey is. It's intertwined with my artistic journey. They're not really separate. So it's really part of the story. My college years, I, of course, view, like most people do, it's like the time in your life where you really discover yourself and you're away from home, maybe for the first time. And for me, it is those things, but it's more as well. I view this era even differently in the last couple of years than I did maybe earlier, because like I just told you in part 1, in my late teens in a very small Indiana town surrounded by fundamentalist Christianity, slowly starting to realize I was gay. When I went to college, it was sort of a self-preservation maneuver. I didn't particularly want to go to college. I was instinctually escaping, and going to college probably saved my life. I didn't go to college right after high school. There was a couple-year period where I got really involved in my church. We opened up this sort of rock band nightclub in the church basement, and that consumed my life. Again, these earlier years were just all about Christian music, rock band ministry. It's a weird world. When I went to college, like I said, I was sort of escaping, and I went to college and enrolled in theater because I like artsy things. I like performance. And, I don't think I was going like, I'm now going to pursue theater as a profession. I was just sort of getting the hell out of my small town and signing up for something I knew I would enjoy. When I got there, it was the first time. That's maybe not completely true. It was around the first time in my life where I was around people who didn't care if I was gay or not. And I was around gay people who were fine. And I know this sounds crazy, but I didn't quite know that that was an option. My whole world had been this small town, Indiana, conservative, bigoted atmosphere. So to be around people who were just unashamedly themselves, it sounds crazy, but I just didn't quite know that was an option. You have to remember, this is before social media. Really, no one was out. You think like MTV, like, oh, Elton John and Freddie Mercury. Eddie Mercury's lesser known younger brother. Those guys weren't really out. I remember, because I was very tuned in. Like, we look back and like, oh, those guys were out. They weren't really. Like, even like George Michael, Boy George, like they would say cheeky little things in interviews, but no one was really out. Go back in your memories. Maybe you don't remember. I remember, I'm telling you. Everyone was real mysterious about it. So I enter the college theater department, and it was the first time I was doing something like separate from my fundamentalist Christian identity. And like I said a minute ago, I view this era even more differently now than I did earlier, because now looking back, I really see in my younger years how full of trauma I was. I didn't know it at the time, but I was in the middle of a giant identity crisis, giant worldview crisis. And I plopped down in this liberal arts college theater department, and my whole life is upside down. My heart is upside down. My head is upside down. Had a lot of conflict inside of me. And so I'm studying the art of acting now, and I get really into it. And Like I said in the first video, when you're younger, a lot of artists are like responding to the positive reinforcement, the praise. This is like an era where like I was so internally confused, but now I'm around like theater professors telling me I have talent, not church people, like professional artists. And I was dealing with a lot. This is like I said at the top, it's totally intertwined. I can't separate the emotional from the artistic in this time period. It's the same, completely intertwined. So I'm experiencing this thing where like the praise feels good. I'm getting cast in all the plays. I had a real knack for acting. I still do. So this is, like I said, it's separate from my church identity. And the positive reinforcement feels good. I needed it so badly. I was so hurt and wounded, you know? So I was just completely addicted, drawn. Also starting to realize that the work, the artistic work, is affecting people. You know, it maybe feels a little bigger than myself. Putting all this work into a play and then doing it on stage and then seeing people afterwards with tears in their eyes and going, oh, I did something that affected people, and that feels important somehow. So by the end of college, I'd really worked through a lot of that conflict, meaning that direct conflict between my ideas about God and myself. And I wrapped up college. I don't think I ever had any real intent to pursue acting as a career. It's been in my toolbox my whole life. I've done a lot of professional theater over the years, eventually kind of morphing into filmmaking and writing scripts and things, but I don't think I really ever had any intent of pursuing that. It was just an era for me. After college, I packed my bags. My parents gave me a giant desktop computer for graduation. You remember those? Like beige colored hunks of computer. And I went to Nashville, Tennessee to start a band and get a record deal. Not a Christian record deal. A real record deal. And that sort of enters me into the next era of life. Moving to Nashville to dive into the music industry. That'll be part 3. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, all that stuff to keep these videos alive in the algorithm. Hope you're enjoying my story. Let me know what you think in the comments. Questions, comments, it's all welcome. Thanks for watching. Bye.